is so big, you're scared of the success they may bring. But in your heart, you know you're on to something amazing. Then there's days you feel like you're in over your head. But don't feed your fears, water your dreams instead. 'Cause you're not that far from where you wanna be. It just takes some time and patience when you're building something, you know I'm building something, you know I'm building something. Gotta keep striving, gotta keep pressing. I'm building something, you know I'm building something, you know I'm building something.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Yes, welcome to Couch Conversations with Sherri Harris. Allgood. Y'all, it's Thursday night, and we are here every Thursday night at 8 o'clock p.m. talking, highlighting, and spotlighting some awesome work that's being done in the community, as well as small businesses, and just bringing exposure on this platform of the great things that are happening, and not just to show what others are doing, but to show what you are able to do in your community on behalf of your community. And y'all, we just doing what we do, right? So welcome again to Couch Conversations with Sherri Harris, Allgood. And we're gonna go ahead and dive into what we have for tonight, because we do have an awesome guest that I want to share with you all. She actually we met her not even probably a couple of weeks ago, may have been. But she is doing some phenomenal things in the community, and just has agreed to work with us at Sand Hills Cooperation Association as we go and as we are doing some great things. And I'm going to come back and we're going to talk about that a little bit later, about SCA and what we're doing and some things that we have planned coming up. So y'all, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share this with you all so that you can see what's happening and what is going on. Here we go. Let's get this party started. All right. So, all right, y'all, here we go.
Hello everyone. My name is Ashley Williams, and I am super excited to be here today with Miss Allgood and all those others that are part of her organization. I won't go into name dropping because I know them. No, that's a joke. I don't know all of them. I will get to know them though. And why is that? Because I'm serious about who I am, what I do, and how I connect. So why me? Why take the time to get to know me? I would say because I'm a community weaver that understands, understands, and overstands the principles of unity and community. Okay, I am here because the SCA has invited me out and taken a liking to myself and some of my actions, but also my spirit and my energy. Okay, that is very important to me, to know that the organization that I am partnering myself with understands and understands and overstands the seriousness and the effectiveness of a person who is not just a doer, but is a beer. Okay, I know how to be me. No one else can be me. Other people can do what I do, but no one can be me. And when you couple that together, when we all realize that despite what we're doing, we have a sense of being that is like no other, when we understand that and take hold of that, realize that within ourselves, we can accomplish some great things, whether it be on our own or together. So in this case, I've decided not to do things on my own anymore. I've had enough of that, right? But have decided to go ahead and partner with SCA. And like I said, I'm super excited about it. And I look forward to what it is that shall come of the relationship. Nothing less than greatness, amazingness, God-given.
right, y'all. So we have none other than Ashley Williams, who is coming on right now. Y'all, let's go ahead and celebrate her, Miss Ashley Williams. So, hey, how you doing tonight?
Hello, I am good. I'm really good.
Great,
That's it.
great.
I'm here. No.
Yeah, and that's all that matters. You hear me? That's all that matters. The viewers just saw your video. They saw just, you introducing yourself, and you just only gave us a tad bit, a piece of the things
Yeah.
that you have done. And like you dropped some major gems like all throughout. Okay.
Oh Lord.
We
Okay.
have to get back to that understand, overstand, and understand. Like we're gonna
Yeah.
hit on
Yeah.
that. We also
That's
want to
big
hit
for me.
on nobody can be you but you. Like you're not trying to be nobody else. You're just flowing in the vein that God placed
Seriously.
in the vein and the lane that
In the
God has
lane.
placed you in. So go ahead and introduce yourself a little bit more and tell us about you,
Yeah.
what you do, what you stand for, all of that.
Oh my gosh, that's a lot. So I won't be able to do all that. I won't be able to. But that speaks to a huge point. I wouldn't be able to introduce myself fully in the first 60 seconds, right? We talked about the elevator pitch.
Elevator pitch.
We don't like the elevator pitch,
We
y'all.
know.
So I encourage people to, yes, you're going to meet me, but I encourage people to get to know me. A lot of times, a lot of us don't take the time to nurture relationships with people in our community. Um, and we need to. I mean, there are those of us who do, there are those of us who don't. And those of us who don't have their reasons. And my ultimate goal is to tap into those reasons why they feel like it's not necessary to get to know people in their community and make them want to get to know me. And then once you get to know me, you're going to want to get to know the people that I hang out with too, because they bomb too.
Yeah.
So I made the joke, I think, in that one that y'all my people or something to that extent. I said, but I don't even know all of them
You
yet.
can drop our names. You can drop it. Name drop it.
I don't even know all of them yet. No, but because of that piece right there for me is huge. Y'all are doing things. I see just some of what y'all are doing. So I'm like, you know what? I want to get to know them more. I want to spend time with them in their organization and come to this place of truly nurturing the relationship so that everybody that I'm connected to who sees fit to tap in has the opportunity to tap in as I grow, as we grow, all of this, collective stuff, right?
Right.
But ultimately, and I give you all that before I even say much about myself at all, because I guess it comes out to be I'm learning more and more that I am kind of like you are what you eat, right?
Oh, yes.
So I am what I bring in. So my name is Ashley, right? My mother named me Ashley. And when I recorded that video, I was at the hospital with my mom. I had stepped out of the hospital room with her, and she is doing well now.
Okay.
But we had an unexpected situation go down. And I said, I need to do this video, but I said, but I got this going on. So I had to make a decision that seemed kind of selfish in the moment, honestly. Do I go in, because I still hadn't recorded the video. So I'm like, do I go ahead and record this video, not knowing what's to come while we're here, what these tests are going to say, and all this, that, and the other. And this is my personal, I don't put this on somebody. If you got somebody sick in the hospital, do your thing and do as you see fit. But I was led to go ahead and take a break, leave the hospital room, and go ahead and record that video. And in me doing so, it brought back a little bit of life to me myself personally, but also apparently and hopefully it will continue to reach other people. Because any video I do, I keep them, right? I keep them, and sometimes I share them, here and there, because you never know what in the moment that you're dealing with something that's difficult, what the thing that pours out of you and exudes from you, you never know how potent it could be for somebody else who's in a similar situation or just in a situation period, and they may not even know what it is, like why that specific video hit something for them, not knowing that you were able to, or they were able to tap into like a God moment, basically, a God moment where something within them recognized something with you in that moment, and it connected.
Right. Now that's very interesting, because the last time we met, and I don't know, I just happened to look at I always look like with the YouTube, oh, is that unlisted, or that's like the first thing.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Exactly. Like, who asked that question? But this is I mean, just from you saying just what you said, right? Um, what you're doing is you're strategic. And that's what I love. Even the conversation that we've had together, it's like the strategy in it all. It's like everything is purposeful. Like I don't want my information out there just to anybody. I want it to land on who it needs to land on. Right.
Yes.
And so
Yes.
like with those unlisted videos,
There's a
where
lot of them.
those, only those that, because I actually went to your page and I was like, let me see what other videos she got on here.
No.
And that page is like, you ain't snooping over here, find somewhere else to go.
And there's some interesting stuff in there. It is. But like you said, it's intentional. I've learned that I can't even act like I truly know all the places that I've learned that from. I'm not there yet, y'all. I don't have all the information as to where all this is coming from, but I say, okay, God, you sending it from somewhere. Okay. So being intentional, I told you this, I was in the military and I had my reasons for joining the military. And that taught me very quickly and very intensely, strongly. I don't know what word to use for it, but it really did teach me to be intentional about what organizations, what people you partner yourself with, that you spend your time with, because being in the line of work that I was in, I focused a lot on partnerships that we have in the US with different countries and things of that nature. And it's a hard thing to talk to a liaison, and have a great smile on your face and tell them how glad that you are to be here, you and your people are to be here, or how glad or how beneficial and amazing this relationship is. And then on the other hand, when you go into the back office, there's all the hidden conversation about how we really feel about this one and that one, And I'm talking about country, y'all. So it ain't just out here in these streets. Okay. We're talking about country relationships.
Wow.
It's backbiting everywhere. But it's not just your cousin. It's not just the lady. It ain't the lady across the town or whatever,
That's an international backbiting. Now that's major.
Yeah. It takes place with us as human beings in general. And so learning that and taking the time to truly accept that, I was like, okay, well, let me do less of that. I don't want to put that the amount of energy that I put into trying to convince people that I was glad to be around them as in the job that I had. I was like, yeah, that energy could be better served. So I guess that was a beginning of my real journey to nurture real relationships. Just seeing how the magnitude of that's the scale of that. If those liaisons had heard the real conversations behind the doors, what could have taken place? You know what I'm saying? How detrimental that could have been to me and my people who were there, as well as those who we were ideally, I guess, protecting or working with and for, right? So I just try to be real with anybody that I spend my time with. And I'm not going to spend my time with you unless I see that you're willing to reciprocate.
Right.
And that's with the organization as well as people. And I've seen a lot of that over the last few years, where marketing and business has become like more transparent.
Mm-hmm.
What would be an example? Here's an example for me. I wanted to be a news anchor so bad. But I hated the news anchor voice back in like the 80s, where it was like this very
Yes.
particular voice.
Right.
I hated that. And I was like, if I become a news anchor, I'm not gonna talk like that. And then transparency started to happen where I noticed that the news station started to show the background. They didn't just show the reporters and the analysts at the desk, right? They started to show the cameras moving around the room. They started to show people walking through the back offices and things of that nature. And I was like, oh, what they doing? Something changing. I got excited. I was like, I can do this. And their voices started changing. They started talking normal. I was like, oh, they're real people. Okay. Oh my God. But that was a moment for me where I realized that on a global scale, we had started to shift into transparency and really taking hold of let people be people,
Right.
you
Right.
know, and take us, if we Fox, CNN, who else, what other stations people don't like? C-SPAN,
Right. All of them. What is it?
MSNBC.
Yeah, right there.
All of those, all of these stations, like it's like they started to come to this point of we just gonna give you what we gonna give you, and you decide if you like us or not,
Right.
and we should make our decisions. So I feel like, yeah, and that's been in the last like maybe decade or so. But let's make that decision on if who we really want to align ourselves with.
Mm, right.
Because
And
if
just
not,
showing
you just floating.
ourselves, just being ourselves, and whoever wants us, and whoever doesn't, it's okay, right? 'Cause
Yes.
everybody's cup of tea,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that we have to shift who we are and hide and reserve ourselves in this somehow box. I'm gonna tell you, like, I am country. Like, I say y'all, I say gotta, even when I preach, like, that's just who I am. And everybody don't like that. And it's okay, just keep scrolling, or but at the same rate, it's being because what we do is whenever we hold back ourselves, when we hold back certain things, we're holding back everything, right?
Yes.
But when we release everything, I mean, when we release all of us, it's like, we don't have to have that stress of trying to fit in these boxes
Yeah.
and trying to please people that are never pleased anyway, because they
Ooh.
always gonna have those backdoor conversations
Yeah.
about,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's just a matter of being ourselves. Now, you have worked in community, and you have so many hats, right? And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so tell us about those hats that you wear, but also tell us, how do you balance it all? Because
Okay.
yeah, how do you balance it all? Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. Many hats. I have many passions. I realized that kind of like the Shrek movie. I'm a lover of Shrek, where Donkey, or no, he told Donkey he's like an onion.
Right, in the layers.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Shrek. You explained it
Right,
perfectly.
yeah.
I have many layers.
Layers.
So as you said, when you hold back a little bit, you almost maybe I wanted to jump up out my seat when you said that, for real. When you hold back, you feel like you think you're holding back a little bit, but you hold back all of it, because now all of it can't get to them, the people who need, because that piece is missing. And
Right.
even though it might seem like a small, minute piece, that piece is what will stir something up in their spirit, or you just never know. So holding back, woo. So that's what I did. I stopped holding back. Like, real seriously, real talk. I stopped holding back. I kept thinking that I had to just do one thing. So I was like, this is who I am. This is what I do. I want to be an interior designer. I'm going
Ooh.
to be Ashley, an amazing interior designer. In DC, I'm going to be big time DC designer. And I was going to just kill the game.
Uh-huh.
And then I was introduced to a deeper level of design, and it was designed for aging, for people who were aging in their homes. And
Oh.
that brought me to all these different things, just trickle down. It brought me to organizing. And so then I became a professional organizer.
Wow.
And from there, I was like, okay, I'm not an interior designer protege or whatever anymore. I'm now going down this road of being a personal organizer. Woo. So that led me into many different conversations with people in general. But then I started to focus on women because women were attracted to me. They were like, hey, I love your smile. I love your energy. Come on up in this house and help me get this together. Right. And in those times and in those relationships, I guess I could say, with those women, I came to this place of realizing that, oh, like we talking about a whole lot of stuff that ain't just organizing. You know, we talking about family matters. We talking about relationship matters. And I just started to open myself up, my spirit up, not to them specifically, but to God to say, where you leading me right now?
Right.
Because I can see this is going somewhere else. I see you got something up your sleeve. Okay.
Right.
Seriously. Ooh. So that's what took place. And I started to just open up more and more to the idea that I can be more to people than just this one thing that they called me for, even, you know. So as people kept asking me questions about how can they do this, where do they go for this, that, and the other, I was like, okay, you've got all this information. So are you going to deny them the information that they're coming to you for, just so you can be in a lane? So people won't say, oh, you all over the place.
Right.
How many of us be told that you all over the place? Yeah, I would love to hear your take on that.
Everywhere.
Yeah, because that's part of who we are. That's part of our passions are not just in one lane, you know, or in one vehicle even. I don't know, you could say it many different ways. But so long story short, which never is short with me, right? I opened up and I said, let me go ahead. If I have a passion that's on my heart, like heavy on my heart, not in a negative way, just there and pressing and won't go away, that means I got to prep for it and go ahead and get started. So I was in Charlotte, North Carolina, and COVID came, and I was like having conversations. I was having conversations with people that I know, and it was a lot of men that I was having conversations with, and these men were literally saying, "I'm scared."
Oh, wow.
And that bothered me.
Wow.
That bothered me heavily because these men were men that I trusted and leaned on for like I want to say edification almost, but I leaned on them for strength. Like when I was confused about something, I'm like, hey man, what's going on with you? Like, tell me something good. Tell me now. You know, because the man usually got the answer.
Right, exactly.
That's how they geared. That's how they wired or whatever.
Yes.
And when these homeboys of mine came back, like, yo, I don't know. This is scary. My mom is dealing with this. I'm worried about this, and they were worried about the women in their family. I was like, okay, I don't want to be another source of stress and worry for you. So I'm going to flip the script and I'm going to try to help y'all. So I found a phone number of a farmer that I had met a couple years back. Talked to him. I said, hey, I want to get some people out to your farm just so we can get away and relax. Just get on the farm, come pick some stuff. We can do some harvesting if you need some harvesting done. We can sit in the grass, sing kumbaya, whatever it may be.
Whatever, right?
Kick the shoes off, walk around in the grass and in the dirt. So many different things you can do on a farm to physically ground yourself and calm yourself down that you can't do in the city, you know, or it's harder to do in the city. So we did that. That went great, and I said, oh, I want to do more of this. So that sprung into me doing events specifically for people to have time away from the COVIDs, you know, and all the things that came along with it. So from there, I just continued to plan events. I became a volunteer coordinator for that farmer, and we just kept bringing people in. People were just like, yeah, I need to get out the house and I need to be out in fresh air. So this makes sense. What can we do? So we were having events at once a week. That just went beautifully. So then people started asking about kids events, and I was like, ooh, I don't do kids. Okay. I have children, but I don't like doing children's events. I'm gonna be honest with you. But it ended up being one of my the best events we ever did. Why you be doing us like that?
Right.
Oh my gosh. It ended up being one of the best events we ever did, y'all. them kids came through. It was a soccer camp. Them kids came through. My daughters taught the camp. They were the coaches. We had some hiccups here and there, but we said we're gonna do this thing. Those
Right.
parents said, and I told you this, those parents were like, can y'all please do this for the rest of the week? I said, let me see. Then it was like, can y'all do this for the next break? It was a spring break or something. I don't know. I said, oh Lord. Then they're like, can y'all do it as a summer camp? I was like, oh, I was just trying to be nice and give y'all a little bit of something.
Just a little bit.
It was crazy. And
Wow.
as I told you, and we didn't have the resources to do more. We didn't. We didn't have the resources to do more. So that was one, I don't know what to call it. It was a point of reflection where we had to reflect, right? But
Right.
so we still were doing events and things of that nature, but it brought us to this place. And when I say us, at this point, my fiance had rolled into his role in the organization as a partnership and said, let me help you with this. And so we started to get more intentional about how we did events so that we could do better, we could do more, you know. So we started planning other events with different organizations around the city of Charlotte. We started a group called Black Biz Barter. That's one of our favorites. Black Biz Barter was small businesses coming together that have low capital, and I won't say necessarily access to I won't say limited access, because I don't know what access they had. I'm not going to tell no lies.
Gotcha.
But they had limited capital in their business, including us. So we said, well, let's get this understanding of currency is not just a dollar. You know, currency is not just the American dollar. Currency is not just money. You know, currency is anything of value that can be exchanged.
Right.
So we started bartering. I had already been bartering, but we started doing it kind of officially, saying, okay, if you want to be a part of this, bring to the table what you have to barter and we can make it happen. So we did that, been working on that. And there are so many other different types of events that we did in Charlotte, people that we came together with that are in our network. But eventually it came to the point where we were like, we're leaving, we're relocating out to Stanley County.
Uh-oh, Stanley.
Yes. And we were like, so what we gonna do? And we tried to keep it going in Charlotte, but it wasn't, it was on my spirit, said, you know, I had you go where you went, Stanley County, so that you could do what you need to do in Stanley County. Don't keep going back to Charlotte. Wow. So I was like, okay, got it.
Right.
I'm gonna do my best. Yeah. So we're here now, and we're glad to be here because it's a new assignment, and new assignments are exciting. But even though it's a new assignment, there's so much experience, like you were saying. I come with so much experience just because that certain point in life where God was like, go, do it, test it, try it, see what it's like, see what it tastes like, smell like, all that kind of stuff. And I went ahead, and that gave me some great experiences. And I've met some amazing people similar to you who, man, just, working. Y'all out here, y'all working.
See, trying to anyway.
So to that point, I would say, you said trying to. That's how I handle it. I put my efforts into bettering my time management skills specifically.
Gotcha.
I try different things. I test different things out with my time management. It's very important to me. And it's something that I had rolled into as a professional organizer as well, time management. Because trying to get people to do certain things in their house can get interesting. So you got to try to introduce, I ain't judging nobody, okay? I got a pile of laundry on the other, I'm sitting on my couch right now, and I got a little pile of laundry that's over here in the corner of my eye, like, so you think you're going to get done tonight? No.
Right.
That's going to be tomorrow. So no judgment. We are who we are, and we have what we have. We have things going on. Exactly. So, but time management, being serious about it. So like that pile of laundry, I could say, okay, when I get off of this call, I'm going to go ahead and do that laundry. But is that going to be the most productive? Is that going to help me get to where I need to be in preparation for tomorrow, since it's in the evening.
Right.
It's not going to make a big difference for me.
Right.
So that laundry is going to get done tomorrow, probably tomorrow afternoon,
Uh-huh.
while I'm on a call, quite honestly. Okay.
Do two things at one time. I got you.
And look, at a max, because sometimes that don't even work out. But I am serious about what is going to get me closer to the intended goal. So of course, setting goals as far as how I do all these things.
Right.
That's the best way I can say it. Time management is huge. I even made the decision. This is one I'll give y'all this like really goodie for free, right? For free, on the free.
And free.
Time management is not just like time in your one day. Time management can also apply to your year, right? So something I shared with someone who was saying she's got all these different skill sets and she doesn't know where to go with them. Like she doesn't have the time to do all of them at the same time. So I said, okay, you do hair. When is peak season for hair?
Is that summertime?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Summertime and holiday. Holiday is like it's kind of odd. Holiday is when they want to come, they coming,
Right.
but
Right.
you got people also leaving and going out of town and stuff like that. So summer more so than anything. Summer is hot time because kids can come any time of the day, all that kind of stuff. So I'm like, okay, you do hair, summer, do your hair. You sew. Okay. When is peak time for sewing, like clothes? For what do you call it when you fix somebody's clothes?
Oh, alterations,
Things of that nature. Okay,
yeah.
so that's a passion of yours as well. When is peak season for that? Holiday time. Well, guess what? During holiday time, your hair is not banging and booming. So go ahead and take that time off to do your alterations during the holiday season, because people gonna be calling on you to make dresses, suits, pin this up, fix this, that, and the other. So looking at the year and how things go, the year transitions in a similar way every year. It's seasons, this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? We know what's to come as far as the seasons. And if you've been working in your business or your passion for a decent amount of time, you've got a good idea of how things go, what's the ebb and flow of things, right? So that also falls into time management. So for me, some things I will only do during the summer. I enjoy thrifting, and I got a project that I want to do where I do a couples thrift tour through North Carolina, because there's all kinds of thrift shops and stuff out here, right?
Wow.
So I'm not about to be working on that when I could be making my money in here, or when I could be focusing or on my coaching and things of that nature with my ladies. I'm going to do that when it makes the most sense.
Right. Gotcha.
Maybe that's a spring thing.
Right.
Couples getting back, they want to be around each other again, maybe a little bit more now. They want to, people coming into new relationships even in the spring a lot of times. So maybe this is something that new couples want to try out and get to know, spend some time to get to know each other, things of that nature. So time management.
Now that's major, even in business, like you said, like being able to well, and it's wisdom. And I'm really on this God got me down that pathway of is utilizing wisdom, because it's like what is it? Wisdom was defined to me as God's thoughts. So to be able to think like he thinks, right? So like whenever he created the earth within those 6 days, he was so strategic in what he did, how he did it, in the order that he did it as well. And so if we can flow in that same vein, and each day it was a day of creativity. You see what I'm saying? Like it was creative because he had those layers, he was showing us. And we are the same way. Like, he created us to create as well. And to have that time management and being able to strategically think and look and examine things. I'm going to show you what I have. So I'm in my office right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I have this right here. This is, I mapped it out up until 2072. Okay.
Okay.
2072. And and what I'm doing is I'm listening.
Wow.
Okay, I need to know because I like even if that's 50 years, 50 years is not a long time to
Can you talk
accomplish
about?
and do, every those layers that we have,
Yeah.
those things. So whenever that just resonated with me when you're saying you strategically say, okay, look, in the summertime, in the springtime, and it's like you don't just up haphazardly say, oh, I think I'll do this, but
Yeah.
you think you're intentional about what you're doing, how you're doing it. I'm not gonna hold you on long, but I do want you to explain, well, not explain, but
Okay.
tell us about this right here. I'm gonna show you real quick. Tell us about this here. Can you see that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
The Ashley does locks. Yes.
Yes.
So
Yes.
and look, and I'm sitting up like, oh, she about to get into this calendar. Like, how you map something out to 2072?
2072.
What? I really do want to talk about that whenever if you see fit to share, whenever you see
Okay,
fit.
I
Oh my
got you. I
gosh.
got you.
Yeah, so Ashley Does Locks came about so seemingly out of nowhere. I had started my lock journey, uh, and I had been waiting years and years. I was in the military and I couldn't start my locks. If I'd have had locks, I'd have had to cover it with a wig or something,
Oh,
because locks were not permitted in the military while I was in.
wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. It was against the rules, and you could, if you decided that you did not want to um take, either cover it or take it out, then you could be released from the military based on that, right?
Wow. So you could wear
So
straight long hair. That was okay?
not long hair.
Okay.
It always had to be up, so it didn't touch your collar.
Okay.
No matter what kind of hair you had, it had to be up so it didn't touch your collar, the collar of your shirt, you know.
Okay.
So, but locks, absolutely, it didn't matter if it was, if you were able to pin them up a certain kind of way. Locks were not permitted. They were not a natural style that was permitted. So I waited until I got out of the military to do my locks, and um, I guess because of how much of a barrier that was for me personally to do something to my own being, my own head, um, I wanted to make sure that people didn't have so many barriers to starting their lock journey. So even when it came to the name, simply just Ashley Does Locks, that was as simple as it could get for me in my head.
Right.
Like, do you know anybody? Because usually when somebody wants to start locks or start a new hairdo, they're like asking people, you know anybody that does this or that?
Who does locks? Right.
Right. You know anybody that does, like, you know, who does locks? Who does your locks? Or you know anybody that does locks? And I just wanted people to be able to quickly say, "Oh, Ashley does locks." Send them my way. Send them my way. Not, not trying to remember a fancy name like, oh,
Exactly.
it's Nappy and Happy on they it's, what's her name? Nope. You got it right there. My name is Ashley and I do what you're looking for.
Now, if that ain't clever right there, I'm telling you, that's your mind. That's your mind.
I want it as simple as possible. So that's where the name came from. And of course, the crown, with the, as far as the logo goes, the crown is that which we are, decorating and maintaining and managing, is all this lovely hair and everything. Um, and so it only seemed right for me to add a crown to it and help people to understand that when you go into your lock journey, you are like majesty. You are kings and queens. And it's not by happenstance that you're intrigued by the look of locks, or that it kind of captivates some of us. There's something within us that it resonates with, and we don't fully know what it is a lot of times, but it's like calling on you.
Mm,
And when you make that decision to go ahead and start your lock journey, oh my God, it's
wow.
your life changes. Your life changes, truly. It's a spiritual journey. I don't know where in the world it comes from, but it's a spiritual journey. Um, and there's so many things that are intertwined with your spirit being and your natural being when it comes to a lock journey. Yeah. So that is where I am. in my lock journey, I am now a stylist, and my ultimate goal is to make sure that people can have as beautiful of a journey as possible, as healthy of a journey as possible. Healthy, healthy, healthy.
Right.
Okay. And that enough people asked me, I said it, enough people asked me and I kept saying no. Where I said, Lord, you put something right in front of me and I keep saying no.
Right there on your head.
Yeah, I'm a spokesperson out here and I keep telling people no and sending them to other people. And even to the point where I've sent people to other people initially and they were like, looked at their page or something like that. And they're like, I want you to do mine.
Right.
I'm like, oh, dang.
Because you do your own, right? You do your own?
Yes, I do my own. I maintain my own. I said, yes, I do. It's kind of hard to relinquish that to somebody else. Yeah. It's a difficult decision. It's a very hard decision, Lord. But because I'm so serious about the health of it, and I just want to make sure that whoever's in my head, just as I make sure for my clients, if I need to be doing my very best being in your head, that's no small thing for me. So I have to be very serious about somebody in my own. I mean, I keep doing the shoulder shrug. I don't know what else to say about that.
I got you. Oh, look, your shoulder shrug says it all. It says it all.
Yeah, you gotta be right. You gotta be right. And not to say there's no one out here that's right, but I haven't found yet, and relinquish that trust to somebody. It's a big decision to relinquish that trust to somebody to manage this type of a hairstyle, you know. But with any hairstyle, I'm telling people like, hey, be able to have a conversation like your stylist. Don't just go to your stylist because she or he can do good hair, but they have a stank attitude or something. If you can't sit in their chair and be comfortable,
wow,
and enjoy yourself, I don't care what your hair come out looking like. If it wasn't an enriching experience, then please stop going to them and go find somebody else.
Wow.
That's my PSA.
That right there, right. That right there needs to be, echoed because I don't know. It's just something because you can leave looking real cute, but you done grabbed hold of all that negative environment and all of that is in you. And it's like, you worse off. You cute though, but you.
Because look, you are what you eat, right? You are what you take in.
Yeah.
So, that can be draining. I know we've all experienced going to a salon and leaving like, I'm so glad to be out of there.
Oh my goodness. Oh, believe me. And that's what, and so where is your salon located and how can people get in touch with you?
Well, I'll tell you how to get in touch with me.
Okay.
Because it's not my salon.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I'll tell you how to get in touch with me. It's going to be on Instagram. I don't know why I'm about to say Facebook. Y'all, I am not on Facebook.
Oh, you're not on Facebook?
Don't, like, personally, yes, but don't go looking for Ashley Does Loc on Facebook.
Okay.
On Facebook. Because I'm not a fan of Facebook with business, like for that specifically. And it's just me. Okay. Choose your social media.
Instagram. I don't know if my mind can't quite it just doesn't do right. But whenever I post on Facebook, it goes straight to Instagram. So it looks like I'm doing something on Instagram, but I'm totally not.
There's a point, y'all. She giving marketing advice right there. Like, okay, it don't matter if you don't like the platform. If you got the ability to automatically link your posts, just go ahead and link them. So there you go. All right, I'm gonna stop playing. Yep. Because people do still ask me for Facebook and I say, it's on Instagram. But so on Instagram, it's just Ashley Does Locs. There's no
Ashley Does Locs.
Yeah, there's no crazy spelling. Locs is LOCS.
Okay.
So it's ASHLEY DOES
And that's
Ashley Does
Instagram, right?
Yep. Only on Instagram.
Okay.
On Instagram is where you got access to me most, like, that's my thing. So I'm there. So you got access to schedule appointments. I still take questions through DMs. I know a lot of people say don't DM me. I still take DMs. I don't have a problem with that.
So people can DM you and ask you about their locks.
Yes, we
Okay.
can do consultations. We can do video consultations, depending on what you're interested in. We can do that through Instagram. We can do that through what is it? Okay, the Zoom, right? But sometimes I just get tired of Zoom. Okay,
I got you.
like, but that is where you're gonna have the most access to me. Is my point. You can message me there. You can even call me from there. That's no issue. Just hit the call button and it'll come straight to me. You can get information. I'm posting information on there if I'm doing any specials, if there's any changes in scheduling. I recently just started a different type of schedule. So that's something that my people on Instagram found out before any other clients or any other potential clients because they follow, right?
Right,
So
right.
that's where you're going to get the most access to me. And you can do some of anything to communicate with me there. I mean, many different ways to communicate with me there.
Okay. But you do hair in Albemarle though. So they're gonna have to
Yes.
okay.
Yes. So I'm
Got
in Albemarle. I actually do mobile services as well, but that's limited. Those services are limited because I want to be sure that I'm giving you the greatest experience possible. So I won't be able to do so much, so things such as detoxes, I will leave that as like a major one. A detox is something that I wouldn't do for a mobile service because
okay.
I want you to be able to be comfortable when you get a detox, because a detox entails a lot of time. So an hour, 2 hours of allowing your locks to be deep cleansed. And that
Okay.
means you're sitting with your head in a bowl for a long time. So that's not something I want you doing leaning over your sink, right?
Right.
Okay. So yeah, the services are limited when it comes to mobile, but yes, I do offer mobile services.
Yeah. How often? Because there's some people on here right now that has locks. My daughter, she has like this really fine hair, but she has locks now. My
Locking
son
it up.
has locks. Yeah, and they've been trying to tell me, my niece, all of them like, go, Sherri, get your lock.
It
I'm
seems like it would fit. Yeah, it seems like it would be fitting for you. Like
yeah, well,
I see the sister or the micros for you, but
oh, okay.
that's your business.
Yeah, we're gonna have to look at that. We're gonna look at it. But how often is detox necessary for your life?
Yeah, so it depends on lifestyle. So if you're a head sweater, yeah, maybe twice a year, you know,
Okay,
because with sweat comes buildup, of the salt that from the sweat. Once
right,
that sweat dries up, what it leaves is salt.
right,
So that salt not only is on your scalp because with locks, what happens, that hair stays with us. We don't ever get rid of as much as we usually would as far as the shedding process.
right,
So that means that salt not only is staying on your scalp, that salt is getting locked into your hair as well. And salt will start to break down your hair follicle.
right.
So detox is more often for those people who are head sweaters. Also washes more often for people who are head sweaters. We do a lot of washing with these too. Okay,
Okay.
like it's not like go all
How often do
year.
you wash?
Same thing. It depends on lifestyle. Like I said, if you're a head sweater, I really, for some people, we've gotten to the point where I'm like, you're gonna need to wash that scalp once a week. You know,
Oh,
for
my.
some, depending on how heavy you sweat. But it all is truly dependent on lifestyle. And that's why it's so important when it comes to finding a loctician that you find somebody who is going to take the time and pay attention to your lifestyle, your situation, what you're dealing with, because there's no just one way to go about it that's best for everybody.
Right,
So somebody who covers their locks a lot, and I'll say that they cover their locks a lot. So they wear like the beanies or hats or something on it.
uh-huh.
They're not getting as much buildup. I mean, not buildup. They're not getting as much debris
Okay,
from the world around them in their head as somebody who is usually leaving their locks out in the air. So all kinds of things float and fall into our hair and get trapped, right? But if you cover your locks a lot, then you probably don't need a wash or detox as often. But then there are some of those. I have some clients who work in very hot settings
okay.
and they cover their locks. So that combination means you're sweating, it's
Mm,
getting musty up under there, their long shifts, things of that nature, that kind of lifestyle, you're gonna want to wash it more often. and you're going to want to detox more often as well, or you end up one of those with the mildew smell.
Whoop.
You know, y'all
Well,
might have met some of them.
well, some people tell, so like with my daughter, I'm like, okay, okay, what's going on? Are you gonna wash your hair? And she'll tell you, like, you're not supposed to wash your hair a lot with Locs. Because she's like pretty much in her early stages, maybe about a year. She may be going on a year now.
Okay, yeah.
So but I'm like, can you just go wash your hair like
you? Listen, don't be pestering her now.
That's me.
I've heard some horror stories though, where they're like, if you don't get it, it's getting cut off. I'm like, no, you can't be threatening people. Now, hold on, now don't threaten us. But
19, so she,
okay, she at
but
that.
Like, can you please wash it? Can you just wash it?
Is it so? What's the goal? Is the goal you want her to wash it so that it tames the frizz? Is that what you're looking at?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I'm so used to telling her to wash her hair. I think that's just that's in me. Like,
okay,
that's just been our routine for since she was born, is making sure she get her, her hair is washed.
Yeah,
and,
I hear you.
Yeah,
and
so yeah.
So that's a part of it. I talk to a lot of people about family expectations with Locs. There have been some people that we haven't started their Locs because when we talk about the family expectation, it's too strong for them. Where I feel like it's too strong for them, and that it would cause more of a problem than be a benefit.
Oh, now, wow. Now, see, okay, we're going to have to be on here for another 30 minutes because now that's so interesting because, okay, so you stated, I know you said in the military, Locs was just a no-no, whether you had it up or not, it was just a no-no. But so, and also in society, we see those men who are most likely to be pulled over or stereotyped, labeled as criminals, or people get afraid of, usually is associated with Locs. And so it's like a stigma outside of those that those that don't accept Locs, but those who do have Locs, or they're on that journey, or they want that, it's a statement, like you said, it's a spiritual journey, and it's also a point of freedom. Like, it's like I am detaching from what y'all think and what y'all want. And especially as Blacks, it's like this, my Locs is pretty much that outward statement that I can actually be me in a society that has often rejected my hair, because we always permed it, we always got the straight combs,
right,
all that.
It was always keep it neat,
yes,
except for when that what was it, when that 70s hit, when the froze hit,
right,
that's when it was
the Black power, that all the
but Locs are throughout history. They found mummies in ancient times with Locs still locking.
Wow.
Not like still locked, like still there. Skin gone.
But them Locs in it.
So yeah, like it's a strong statement, that I will be here, I will be here, and I will be seen, and I will be felt, I will even say that I know just a few people who are they all women? All women that I know that have Locs, white women that I know that have Locs. And I have conversations with them periodically, and they're getting it from both sides as well. Like, how dare you, cultural appropriation, right? And then from their side of things, like, who you think you are?
Wow.
And some of the things that their families and their friends are saying to them, I'm hearing from the same things from our family and friends. People are not going to accept you. You look dirty. you look like you live a certain kind of lifestyle, you know, you look like you smoke, you look like you do drugs, you look like you wouldn't work a real job, you know, those types of things. People you don't seem like you're trustworthy and dependable from your hairstyle. And so I've started to see, and I don't know if this is the reason, but I've started to see where I'm seeing more often white women are getting one lock done up under their hair.
What?
Yes, it's a thing. So kind of like how we used to have rat tails, like that. And they're doing one lock and maintaining it. And that's a statement,
Oh yeah.
you know. And now I will say I don't know of any other cultures, personally, I don't know of any other cultures that do have locks, that I don't know anybody else in other cultures that have locks at this point in life. So that's where I come from with that. I just see the two of us, the two of our cultures. But it's coming no matter what. I don't know why are locks hated by some. I really can't tell you. Like, it's a personal decision. It's on my body. But even as I say that, you know, you are a mother who is like, hey, can you do something with that?
Right.
So that's a hard thing to get you to just shift out of, like, ma, just stop.
Right. Oh, and she'll tell me too.
And it's not as simple as that, right? You've got things tied to that. You have reasons and proof and history that says, okay, this may not be the greatest if it looks this way. I have had some young men come to me and say they want to get locks, and then their mama come right behind them and say, yeah, he don't understand it yet, but he's not getting them. So he can say what he want to say to you when he's here, but I'm not having my little black boy with locks.
Wow.
And they have their reasons. Some of them share their reasons, some of them don't.
Right.
A lot goes into it. You know, there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of history with it. And unfortunately, a lot of the history that we know is negative history, negative things in history. So this is where I come from again when I reference my clients as kings and queens.
Right.
You are of royal status, whether it be the kingdom of God or even when it comes to our natural lineage. You know, you are of majesty, and you are to not only be treated as such, but before you can even be treated as such, you have to regard yourself as such.
From the inside out.
Yeah.
That's good.
So,
yeah. Well, you know, and I think it's that projection that we have, as well as the protection of what's best in a society that we often tend to want to assimilate to. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you, a few years back, I read the Willie Lynch letters. I don't know if you read it or not.
I couldn't get through it all.
Oh my goodness. And I'm gonna tell you, after I read it, I know I spent it may have been a good hour in my prayer closet just weeping. Right. And I wept. And this is why I wept. It wasn't because of back then and what happened then, which was horrendous, but how I looked and saw how I was perpetrating those Willie Lynch letters and that whole philosophy and ideology that he had. I projected that on my own children, on my sons, right? Where I would tell them, take off your hoodie. Don't go in there with your hoodie on. Or I'm telling you, just thinking about it, I would tell them,
protect them.
Right. Take your hands out your pocket. Don't run because somebody might think you're stealing, or that you're running away from something. And so it was like a constant, I was beating in them what those Willie Lynch letters was actually saying, do these things so they can think this way. And so now I'm like, I am actually thinking like they had planned for us to think for all these years. And I'm telling you, it shifted my whole mind. I'm like, run all you want to. Wear my hoodie. I'm gonna put my own hoodie on. Going like to the extreme, because I'm saying, okay, we gotta break this cycle. We gotta break this. And I believe, like, even with locks, that's a statement saying we're breaking this. we're coming out of this whole we got to fit into this we got to, into this space right here to be accepted, to fit in, to be successful. That's why we see a lot of Black businesses opening now, because they say, oh, you're not gonna pay me for, you're not gonna hire me with my hair like this. I'll start my own.
Mm-hmm.
That I can't talk like the way that you want me to talk, or do like you want me to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start my own, and I'm going to hire those who look like me, who feel accepted, and who do not have to have the stress of not only the job position, but the stress of stereotyping and biases and microaggressions and go through all of that racial battle fatigue, where now I'm so tired because not only did I have to do my job, but I had to fight throughout the day against prejudice and racism, and these injustices that are there. So, I mean, I commend you for that route that you're taking with the Locs. I commend you with the route that you're taking with wanting to help, like, bring that Loc link that we'll talk about.
The Locticians link up.
And then you joining with us with St. Hills Cooperation Association. Like, that right there in and of itself, I'm just happy and excited.
I don't know what's to come.
And we do have a meeting coming up real soon, so we got to get up. But I'm not gonna hold you long after this, because I done went beyond my time.
Okay.
But I thank you so much for just sharing you and being able to understand, understand, and overstand. And we're gonna have a part 2 one day, so that we can talk more here on Couch Conversations.
I'm excited.
Last words that you have before we go?
I'm grateful. I'm absolutely grateful to be in this place in life where you all have been introduced, because it's not just as simple as you all. It's been kind of across the board for me as of recently, and I don't think I'm the only one experiencing this, where God is like, okay, let's go for harvest now. You've been working and working and working.
You about to make me run.
You've been working and working and working. And I kept telling you, oh God, I kept telling you that you're going to see why I'm doing this. You're going to see why I needed you here. You're going to see why I needed your family to experience this. You're going to see why I had you keep talking just as ghetto or just as country or just as proper as you do, even though you were in these different environments. You are going to be able to see it. You're going to be able to see it, realize why you have been put in the positions that you have been. And I don't take that small or lightly, because there are people who have lived and died and not been able to see the realization of their life and their life's journey. So to have a promise like that, and for that to be, I'm in that season of realization that you're not alone in thinking the way you think. You're not alone in being passionate about really being about other people. So I'm grateful right now to have been introduced to yet another group of amazing people. Yourself, Angela, and Miss Flowers. I don't know what's to come, but
it's great. You hear me?
Yeah, it's an amazing realization. Wow. AKA harvest. It wasn't until yesterday my brother said, yeah, that's harvest that you're talking about. I said, oh, okay. Okay, harvest. It's harvest season.
And look, we done sowed in tears. So we got to reap in joy. And I believe that we're at that moment and it's multi-generational. That's the amazing thing about it. Like, this harvest it is going to feed our children's children.
Yeah.
The unborn that we don't even know, we haven't met, are going to be eating off of the harvest of of what God is pouring into us. And it didn't just happen overnight. I mean,
No.
yeah, and so that's the good thing about it. And once again, we're gonna get up real soon. We're gonna reach out to you because we got a meeting that we gotta definitely do. But I thank you once again, Miss Ashley Williams. Those who are on the line, please hit her up. Go to her Instagram page at Ashley Does Locs. Who does locks? Oh yeah, Ashley does.
Yeah, yep, that's it.
So hit her up and get those that lock hair. And we're going to be hearing more from Miss Ashley. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you.
And we're just going to call it a night tonight. I love you. And I just thank
That's
you.
love. Definitely love. Thank you so much. Enjoy
All
your
right.
evening.
You too. Take care. Bye-bye. All right, y'all. Listen. Y'all hit Miss Ashley up. I know we passed our time, but it is well worth it. Hit pound replay, hashtag replay, so you can go back and hear what was said tonight. I'm getting ready to close out. Y'all, ain't no more to say. We're gonna see y'all next Thursday at 8:00 p.m. Until then, God bless you, and may God's peace be with you all. Take care now.